Hello again, it's KG5EZH, and today I'm going to be showing you a review of the Kenwood Remote VFO-820 that I have currently hooked up to my Kenwood TS520. And if you don't know, the Remote VFO allows you to listen on a separate frequency and transmit on another one as well, or listen on one frequency and transmit on the other one, which is all controlled with these controls right here. So yeah, you can have like this VFO will be your receive, the other one will be your transmit, or vice versa. And it's pretty standard. It has a lot of controls like on the Kenwood TS520. So I'll show you here. Closer. It's got the RIT or RT, and that's about it, honestly. But it does have that in case you need to adjust things. And it looks like, is it on? Okay, it's off. Sorry. Okay, turn it on there, and you can see the lights turning on. This little screen back here is not really backlit. There's a light in here, but there's not one in here, so it's a little bit more difficult to see than the actual VFO on the 520, which I'll show you probably later on in the video. But I've already tuned up my radio. I got it on 15 meters, so I can listen to some CW and show you how this works exactly. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off, and let's see if I can, so you can see my 520 over here, just to know. Let me turn this up. Alright, you can hear that in the background there just a little bit. I'll stop talking so you can hear the CW, but I'm going to let you, first I'm going to show you that you can tune it with this VFO in the off position. I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, and so you can see that this VFO is working properly, but it's controlling both the receive and the transmit, so you wouldn't really be able to work split or whatever you want to do with this. So if you just want to have this, if you like this VFO better than the one on your radio, you can use this too, or perhaps if your radio's VFO is broken, you can use this. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into receive. And that means this is going to be controlling the receive now, so I'm going to let you hear the CW again. This is a bit off here, sorry. Let's turn it down. Okay, let me get it down here. Sorry, didn't realize it. There we go, but yeah, it's nice to have two separate frequencies there. Alright, and now you can hear it. Well. And you can hear that it is adjusting the receive, and you also have the receive and transmit switch and just the transmit switch. So this would be your transmitting frequency, and the VFO on your radio would be the receiving frequency. But I'm not actually going to do any transmitting. I'm not going to work split with anyone, so I'm not going to actually show you that. But yes, you can use this. You just keep it plugged in all the time, and just keep it in the off button, or off switch, and you can use the VFO on your radio as normal. And this will be your VFO for both your transmit and receive frequencies. So that's cool. And what I'll just show. Let me focus it there. Okay, sorry. On the back of the radio, there is a little pin. It's the same kind of connector as the cable. I'll show you the connector in a second. But this thing here, if this pin is not in your radio, you're going to have a hard time unless you're actually using the remote VFO with the cable, because these are the pins that will actually go in there to A, it keeps dirt out of there, and B, you can't see in there, but two of these pins are soldered together. Let me see here. I believe it's actually this one and this one here. They're soldered together to short it out basically. And that's going to allow this VFO, the VFO on your radio, to actually work. So if you don't have one of these, you need to get one, need to make one, something. Stick a paper clip on the correct pin, so you'll need to look at that for yourself to make sure that that's actually needed. But you don't need to do that if you have the VFO with the cable in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the radio off and just unplug it for good measure there. I'm going to show you the cable here in a second. Okay, we're back, and I got you the cable. So as you can see, it's just a little length of, you really can't tell too how big it is, but it's not that long at all. It's only about maybe 1.5 feet, and it's got the connector pins here. And actually, these cables are quite hard to find. So if you find one, I would recommend buying it unless it's more than like $20, $30, because you're gonna have a lot of labor into this if you're gonna make one yourself. Which I did actually. You can buy a kit for like $15 off the internet, and it'll come with these things here and the cable itself. And you actually have to solder. I think it's all 9 of these pins. Sorry, it's having a little bit of trouble focusing. Yeah, all 9 of these. Just solder it to the correct pin, and make sure you don't mess any of those up. Otherwise, it will not end well for you. But you gotta make sure all these are not shorted out with the wrong pin. So you gotta test every single pin to make sure they're all working properly, because they transfer voltage and signals and all sorts of things from the VFO. So yeah, that's about it for the Kenwood VFO-820. I mean, it's nice. I like the VFO dial on my 520 better. I don't know. I don't have a VFO-520. I believe they did make that. I don't know. I've heard the external VFOs are a bit rougher to move than the actual VFO on your radio, but I don't know. So it is nice for working split frequencies. You'll hear them like when people talk DX. That is a lot of people prefer to talk split on DX, and that's really the point of these, is so you make those contacts. That a lot of the newer radios actually have these have a dual VFO feature or a split feature on them, but these old ones you had to buy the extra VFO. So that's about it. I mean, if you find one of these for $100 or less, I would suggest less. I would go ahead and get it, and you might have to make yourself a cable, but that's part of the fun. It takes about 3.5 hours, maybe 4, depending on how fast you are at it, and probably how much experience you have. I didn't have a lot, so but yeah, if you find one of these, I recommend you get one, and they're pretty robust little piece of equipment here. So yeah, that's about it. It's a nice little piece of hardware. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. This is KG5EZH73.